I'd like to call the Rockland Fire Protection District special meeting to order at 6 p.m. for Thursday, November 14th, 2024. In attendance, we have myself, Trustee Malinowski, Trustee Mack, Chief Seaver, and DC Holtz, Carl Stolman, Treasurer, and Attorney Joe Miller. And if we could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Agenda item 3, discussion action regarding consideration of the appointment of Mr. Daniel Dunn to the Rockland Fire Protection District Board of Trustees. Bruce, anything?
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Mr. Daniel Dunn to the Board of Trustees to fulfill the remaining portion of the recently vacated board member, which is for a period of 2 years or until such time as the election should take place.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Dunn served as a member of the December Committee, so he's pretty familiar with how we work here. I will second that motion.
I think we need to do a voice vote.
Yes, roll call.
Roll call vote?
Yeah, trustee appointments, I do roll call.
Okay. Trustee Mack?
Aye.
Trustee Malinowski? Aye.
With that, Mr. Dunn, if you would be so kind, administer the oath.
All right, sir. You can raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Daniel Dunn,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear that I will
support
support
the
and
Constitution
the Constitution
and
and laws
laws
of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Illinois,
that I will become familiar with,
that I will become familiar with,
be obedient to,
be obedient to,
the policies,
the policies,
rules, regulations, and orders
rules, regulations, and orders
of the Rockland Fire Protection District,
of the Rockland Fire Protection District,
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a trustee
as a trustee
of the Rockland Fire Protection District
of the Rockland Fire Protection District
to the best of my knowledge and abilities.
to the best of my knowledge and abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So now
Now you got it.
I've been doing this for I've been a lawyer for government entities for 30 years, so it's one of those things where you do a lot of swearing in.
That's pretty good. A little quick there.
Swearing in and swearing
So
out.
I'll make the deal, you sign that, he signs that, you get those.
Sounds good.
In no particular order.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. While Dan's getting situated here, we'll move on to agenda item 5. Consideration of minutes of the October 10th, 2024 special meeting of the Rockland Fire Protection District Board of Trustees. Took those minutes, they were sent by John, so I got those.
Yep.
I didn't see anything instead of
Oh.
accurate.
I've already looked at them. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as tendered.
You're taking all my motions. I'll second that motion. And we'll do, I guess we just do a voice vote on that.
Correct, yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You can't.
Oh,
So I'll say you abstain.
Yeah, we're gonna say you abstained just because you just got on, so.
gotcha.
All right. Chief's report. Who'd like to go first?
Alright, so we have a little busier month for us this year with 7 emergency calls. Could have canceled Route 3, that was both of you guys, okay? So that's pretty much it for us. A little bit up on uptick, but actually very good.
17 ambulance calls and a couple service calls, so we were 19 calls for October. Looks like we're tracking here to be about 200 calls this year. Couple of updates. I know there was some concern about the truck in the last meeting. It went down to St. John's, Indiana. I drove it back Tuesday. There for about a month. They looked it all over. Minor cosmetic damage on the top, which they grinded out. A couple other things with where the sign was mounted on there. They had to fab some brackets, insurance paper, everything. It's all good to go. So back service as of today, with no issues. Actually, there was a couple other things that needed some service, and we had it done while I was down there at, whatever, I forget the name of the facility, but, so that's all back and good. I just hired another, employee who's gonna start December 2nd, new firefighter. We've got another guy who just started a couple weeks ago, and we have a gentleman who's leaving to go to McHenry, so filling in that spot, plus having one extra who, we could probably fill by attrition. The city manager just put out an official announcement, I haven't really been hiding it, but, January 3rd will be my last day at Lake Forest. And Andy Rick, our deputy chief, will become chief. He officially voted on in the council meeting on December 2nd, but he will be my replacement, so.
Alright, congratulations. Going to Canada.
I'm going to Tennessee, I bought a house, and,
Oh, nice,
and
very
I
nice.
bought a house, I'm working on closing it.
There you go.
Awesome.
One more meeting for me.
Alright,
It was the meetings
how
that
many-
drove you away.
how many more meetings can we squeeze in
Yeah.
January
Well, I
3rd?
think we could have like 4 special
You can squeeze as
meetings.
many as you want, I'm gonna only come to one.
There you go.
Alright, well, congrats, chief.
Thanks.
Anything for chiefs?
I did want to, so the 7 emergency calls, were those?
No, I'm sorry, that was, I just read that wrong, that was 10 emergency calls.
Okay.
7, mutual aids with Lake Forest.
Okay, all right, because I looked at it, I was like, that
Yep,
didn't
I'm
track.
sorry, yep.
Those were all ambulance calls too,
Yep.
weren't they? Yeah.
As I said that, I just re-looked at that, and I'm like, no, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
I thought I had a whole report, I was like,
No.
okay, I'll let it slide.
That was right.
No, I just was looking at them a minute ago.
I know, one job, right?
Cool.
Alright.
Nothing else from my,
Okay, thanks, chiefs. Carl, treasury report?
Okay, on the balance sheet, as of October 31st, the Lake Forest Bank checking account was at $814,000, $814,177.58. The reserve account is at $312,295.65, and petty cash is at $81.75, for total assets of $1,126,554.98. As far as the budget, we are 6 months in, so 50%. To date, we have received about 95% of our total revenue. I know there's, actually, I just got a notice of one more property tax payment today, which I haven't looked at yet. So we're just about complete on our revenues coming in. On expenses, we paid 3/4 of the IGA, so 75% on that. We have one more payment for this fiscal year. Building operations, maintenance and utilities are running about 23–25%, so plenty of cushion there. On administration, so we haven't done anything with salaries or education yet. Legal is running at 21%, so again, we build a little cushion in there in case anything happens. And just general office expenses, paper and that kind of stuff is still like 4%, so not much going on there. And then finally, as always, the liability insurance was paid up at the beginning of the year, so it's at 100%. And that's pretty much where the budget's at.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
seconded?
Roll call vote, trustee Mack,
Aye.
trustee Malinowski, aye. And can we have trustee Dunn vote on this one?
You can, if he feels comfortable, he can, if he's not, he can abstain.
Trustee Dunn?
Aye.
Alright. And outstanding invoices, Carl?
Okay, as far as the checks that were issued for approval, with the City of Lake Forest for $120,000, and the second part of that for $21,196 for their quarterly payment on the IGA. Comcast $254, Citibank Visa is $130, and that is for the annual membership at Costco and for the card. North Shore Water Reclamation $13, North Shore Gas $44. I think we got everything finally cleared up with
I hope
Flathead.
so.
Yeah, the one invoice that we never saw, once we finally saw it, made sense.
Yeah.
And then the other one was just, they were, when they came out out to do the last maintenance, it charged us on 2 different invoices,
Okay.
and I was only expecting the one, so. But I think now we are completely caught up with them, and that's not unreasonable for what needed to be done with that
Yeah,
machine.
and the generator's all good to go now. I don't think we've had any alarms since, so.
Do we have a schedule for the next maintenance on that?
Yeah, we are on a regular maintenance schedule with Buckeye.
Yeah.
They were just out shortly after this service or shortly before this service? to do
Yeah,
Regular
it's-
maintenance?
Yes, so a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I think it's quarterly.
Quarterly?
So total expenditures are $144,038.48.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the outstanding invoices in the amount of $144,038.48.
Seconded?
All right, and roll call vote. Trustee Mack?
Aye.
Trustee Dunn?
Aye.
Trustee Malinowski? Aye. Okay. And agenda item 9, discussion action regarding resolution 2024-01, 2024 truth in taxation determination.
Okay, this is part of the annual levy process. We need, well, if you're going to levy this year more than 5% of what you got last year, then you have to hold a public hearing. However, if you pass a resolution stating that you will not go above 5%, then we don't have to have a public hearing. So this is the resolution, it's standard that we do every year. And we basically take what we got last year, multiply it by 4.99, you know, just to say that doesn't mean this is what we're going to levy. It's the maximum we could levy. We may choose to levy less, but this doesn't obligate us to levy that. So by passing this resolution, we fulfill that requirement and then do not have to have a public hearing because we're
Not like.
raising the levy more than is felt to be reasonable. So,
Okay.
kind of the standard thing, and then next month we will we will pass the levy and file it with the county. And that will take care of us for next tax year.
Any
I have no
questions?
questions.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2024-01, resolution of the Rockland Fire Protection District, Lake County, Illinois, making the truth in taxation finding pursuant to 35 ILCS 218-55 for the 2024 levy.
I will second that motion.
All right, roll call vote. Trustee Mack?
Aye.
Trustee Dunn?
Aye.
Trustee Malinowski? Aye. Okay. And agenda item 10, discussion action regarding miscellaneous matters pertaining to upcoming election requirements. Bruce,
Okay.
I think I'll let you take this one because you've done all the legwork.
Yeah, so apart from the mechanics necessary for each of us to have the petition, I have received no public statements of interest, nor have I distributed per request any petitions, anybody that wants to run for this. Nonetheless, it's important to note we have a notice on the door. Typically, if we maintain regular office hours, somebody would have to be here during regular office hours to accept somebody if they wanted to walk in and say, I want to give my petition to. I would normally go to the election official myself. We don't have that, so what we're doing is basically they email me, and now that I have my handy dandy Rockland Fire Protection District email on my phone, I've received no interest in it so far. I will have to designate somebody to stand in for me. We have to accept petitions until 5 p.m. on Monday, the 18th. I will be out of town on Monday, the 18th. Our treasurer, Mr. Snowland, has kindly offered to do that. So what I will need to do is, before I leave, I will amend that so that they will reach out to you. And I need to write myself a reminder of that. Other than that,
As far as the, do you give, well, obviously it's for you guys, you have to give a receipt to the person who gives the petition. Are you giving it on the spot or later?
I'm going to give, so depending on whether or not I receive any tonight, I'm hoping I will send out receipts after the fact. I'll give you a format to give a receipt to a person if they were to come to you.
That's what I, yes,
Um,
that's good.
What I wanted to do, because I didn't have the seal, is I didn't wanna do the petition, I didn't wanna do the receipts ahead of time. But I'll send one to each of, everybody turns with me one tonight, and then you'll have it going forward. It's real simple. All you gotta do is you give them the date, you have to acknowledge all the things that are in their package, which is namely they have to have a statement of candidacy, they have to have prima facie evidence of petition, they have to have, council, please tell me if I'm wrong on this, we either give them a 5D notice, or they can give us a
You talking about
statement.
the statement of economic interest
Yeah.
thing, so.
They-
Most of the time, the people have filled it out beforehand, theoretically, if they didn't, that's not fatal to it, but, most of the time, they'll return in at that same time the receipt from the county for the statement of economic interest.
Yeah.
There's a 5-day objection period afterwards. Do you have the thing? You guys don't have that, because I think it's on there, it's in the candidate's guide
Yep.
that they have. That is the key information that you have. They should give that statement of candidacy as well, though.
Yeah, so statement of candidacy, petitions, and this. So the answer is, if they don't have it, and you acknowledge each one of those. If they don't have this, then you have to hand them a notice, 5D notice, which I can print out for you. If they have this, then you acknowledge that you received evidence that they turned this in. If they fill it out online, it's already filed with the county automatically, so it's really slick and takes care of everything. Otherwise, they have to go out and do it and file that notice with I think it has to be in the county within 10 days.
And I have never had to do it, because I've never been an elected official, or an appointed official, but my understanding is that you do it on, and it's like almost instantaneous that it's there.
Yeah, if you fill out the form online, it's done. If you do it if you fill it out manually, you have to take it to the county,
Yeah.
and they have to have it within 5 business days of the 8th, so they have to do it by
The 25th.
the 25th. Yes, thank you. So simple enough, but you want to acknowledge each one of those, and you sign.
Yeah, if you just have a template for that, that would be great.
There isn't, surprisingly, of all the things, there isn't a template for that, but I'm making one up.
Okay.
That's it. Easy enough.
Okay, really quick before I get to the last couple of agenda items, I just noticed now, we did not have an agenda item for public comment.
Yeah, I just noticed that, I was gonna bring that to you.
So I'd like to go ahead and add agenda item 10A, for public comment.
Okay.
This is what happens when you rush a secretary.
It's okay, I got you back. So, do I need to make a motion for that, Joe? or
No,
just
we're
go ahead
gonna,
and do it?
because it's required by
Yeah.
law, so to have a public comment, so we'll just add
We
there.
hardly ever
So
have
those
any
members
other
of the public, if they
present,
wanna have
so,
any statement.
yeah. So agenda item 10A, public comment. The Rockland Fire Protection District allocates time for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the trustees. Each person addressing the committee is, the trustees is respectfully asked to limit their comments to the maximum 5 minutes. Any public comment? All right.
So, for everybody, this is my neighbor, and.
neighbor.
Right, he has expressed interest in, being active and possibly being in the decennial committee and maybe one day taking over one of our jobs so we can run away on it. We welcome the interest and appreciate it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Very good. So, thank you for coming. Okay, moving on to agenda item 11, board discussion update regarding lease or sale of the Rockland Fire Protection District building and/or IDOT improvements. Thank you for combining those, Bruce. Nothing from IDOT and nothing from any interested parties. There have no been interested parties in the purchase of the building or any other lease of the building or anything like that. Bruce, I mean, you're a little bit more closer to IDOT than I am, just because your day job, I mean, they're still waiting on money basically, right?
Yeah, so this has been slated, it's been in the last 3 capital improvement plans that IDOT has had. And they have a cut line based on what they expect they're gonna have in revenue, but that's never for sure until they get into the second quarter. The last 2 years, we've gradually made it closer and closer to the cut line. This year, we are actually above the cut line, but projects came in over budget, as I understand it. That's the way it was explained to me. So what that tells me is 2025 is looking like the year that IDOT's gonna buy the building from us, which is a good thing. So, and it's a fair and open process, and they give us the full appraised value, so it's really ideal from the fire district's perspective, as opposed to trying to negotiate somebody with a private sector, you know, who wants to buy it for $1. And there are obviously people who've been interested in buying the building. It's more for everybody else's interest. Been interested in buying the building. They would like to buy it for less the appraised value, with the idea that when IDOT comes in, they would buy it from the appraised value and make the difference up. Good on them for trying, but our fiduciary responsibility is to the taxpayers. So, I think that kind of sums it up.
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. Agenda item 12, other items as may be lawfully brought before the board. Nothing in my email. We got our petitions kind of squared away here. Haven't heard from anybody, no FOIA requests. That's some stuff you'll have to do before they're on training, but that's pretty easy.
Yeah, you are gonna, there's also the fire.
There's a Northern Illinois Alliance of Fire Protection Districts. That's a 3-hour training the last weekend of January. You can get what's called an advanced trustee training certificate. That you get down, and next year I think it's going to be in Peoria, not Champaign. And that'll be the last year. I think it's combined with the Fire Chiefs Conference. You take 16 hours of classes, and that you can get that. You'll get an advanced trustee training certificate, which allows your trustee salary to actually be increased by 50%.
Which we will, the fire district obviously funds.
Sure.
Isn't there normally one in the northern burbs in the spring?
Sometimes. It's not every year. They did one last year. They did one in West Chicago.
Yeah, I went to that.
And then we're trying, because it's through the association downstate, we're hoping to get them to do at least one, because not everyone can make it down to Peoria or Champaign or Springfield. It's been kind of 3 locations every year. I think there will be one next year, but there wasn't one, as far as I remember, up here this year. There was one last year at West Chicago. Part of it is finding a district that's also willing to host it as well. So I know West Chicago, I do their work. They're willing to host it every year, but they don't want to be seen as kind of like the group that is only the one doing it if other people want to do it. Wildwood, which may be willing to do it, but I'm not sure. I really would like to get one of the groups up here to do it, so that we can get all of you Lake and McHenry County people a chance, so you don't have to drive an hour and a half down to either Lyle or that. I have to talk, I haven't broached the topic with the chief from Lake Villa yet, but I'm working my way into broaching it when they have us attend by Zoom, so the next time I'm in person, I'm gonna talk to them about that, to see, it'll get all of you guys, or, all of you guys up here a chance to do it without having to drive. Because as far from me, I live in Winfield. Driving down to Champaign, Peoria is like 2 hours. For me, for you guys, it's gotta be like 3.5. So I'd like to get it a little bit closer. Just give me a chance on that one. I gotta twist some arms with them and with him. I'm thinking Lake Villa because they have a big room there. I've heard that McHenry has a big room, but I've never seen it yet, and it's still a little bit further out for more. I just gotta get the Lake County people, something where it's up in this area. That's what I really wanna do.
Okay. Yeah, I would appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I got nothing else. Anything else?
Nope.
Anything else you want to bring up?
Nothing from me.
All right. Well, with that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:24 p.m.
I will second that.
And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?